Hello, everyone. I'm Shane Bushhorn, and you are watching The Rotten Report. And today is kind of a packed episode, actually. I've got guest interview today, Kristy Adams from Nightmare Toys, and she's actually right here. But before I get into that, I wanted to say that this will be a packed episode. I've got Kristy Adams from Nightmare Toys. I will probably do a rundown of Days of the Dead this past weekend. Um, but yeah, without that, I'm gonna go ahead and just get this going. I don't want to waste any of her time. Let's see if you can figure this out because I've done it so many times. There.
You're not. You're so cute. Like your hat.
Oh, thank you.
Cool. Is it glow in the dark?
You know, you think it would be, but it's not.
Oh.
It should be.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Red Rags didn't make it glow in the dark for whatever reason, but that's okay.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Maybe they will next time.
Maybe. We'll see. So how's it going? It's been it's been some time. I'd say the last time we actually talked in person was September of 2019.
Yeah. Yeah.
At Horror Hound weekend before the big move.
Yeah, that was so much fun. Horror
Oh my,
great.
it was a great show. And it was cool because I just met you in person like literally a week before that.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
That's the humble Huntsville location.
I know, right?
It's crazy to think that, and I'll get into that more, but like to think that your store started out as I wouldn't call it a hole in the wall, but a small, store compared to what it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a warehouse.
Yeah. We have a warehouse.
It may as well be a warehouse. I mean, the thing is, it's gorgeous though. I mean,
it's about double the size. It's double the size what we had in Alabama. So you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. That got to start out small, and now you're in Vegas for one.
Yeah.
That's
The thing is the store in Alabama. It's now a pawn shop.
really.
Yeah.
I was, now that you mentioned that, I was like sitting here like thinking a while back. I'm like, wonder what that store is now.
A pawn shop, and I wonder too because my bathrooms had all the bloody handprints and all that stuff on it. So I wonder if they kept it or if they painted over it, and then the counter. I hated to leave my counter, but I had so many really cool stickers all around the counter, and I had to just leave it there. So I don't know what they did with that either, but yeah.
I faintly remember the counter, but I do remember the bathrooms.
Yeah.
I remember I was on a family vacation when we went, and I lucked out because like my wife was like saying, "Are you gonna tell her about the story of the journey to the store?" I'm like, "Yeah, probably," considering, it was because we were on vacation to Panama City in Florida, and we were on our way back that morning. I'm like, the only place I want to go this whole trip is Nightmare Toys on the way home. Okay, we can do that, I guess. I mean, since it's your trip too. And I'm like, well, damn right, it's my trip. And so we stopped and got breakfast. Oh my gosh, it just took forever. And I brought it up. I said, well, I hope we can make it to the store or whatever. And my wife's dad goes, well, yeah, we might make it. And I'm like, we better make it. So we finally took off. And I mean, we got there, and I think I had called you actually.
I think you did.
I called you to make sure that you guys wouldn't close early or something like that. I'm like, you guys don't close early, like when you don't get busy or something. Because
No.
some stores do that. Like, oh, we haven't had a customer in like an hour. Just shut it down. But
No, we don't do that. We will never do that. Nope.
But normally on the way home they make a lot of stops at like shops along the way and stuff like that.
Roadside attractions, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Fun stuff.
But it's just like little off the beaten path shops that you don't get around, where we're from, I guess. And they pretty much buzzed through all those and stuff. And we got there probably at like, what was it like? It had to have been like maybe a half hour before you guys closed.
Yeah, I I remember it being somewhat before we closed. I remember that. Yeah.
I remember I stayed.
Like, oh my God.
I
I remember that.
I got out, like I jumped out. I'm like, oh my God, we made it.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, I'm so glad we made it because he would have just been terrible the rest of the way home.
Story was a lot of people's stories though. That was the one good thing about being in Huntsville, Alabama. People that were traveling down to go to Florida or going up would stop in Huntsville to come to the store.
Yeah.
Would just come to the store wherever they were going, which way, you know. So that worked out, and had the same similar stories you did, you know, traveling with family or whatever. And then that, you know, I've had other people call, oh, I mean, when you need your clothes, I'm almost there, and, you know,
so close. It was definitely like, it was one of those like, are we gonna make? It was like had you on the edge of your seat. Like, are we gonna make it? Yeah, we better make it. But yeah, it was definitely. There's definitely a lot of fun. Like, I finally like because I'm pretty sure I stayed in the store until you guys closed, probably.
Probably.
And then we went and got. I think we went to the Outback Steakhouse that was right down the road from you guys.
Yep. Good old Outback.
Oh, memories. It's hard to believe that was like, was it 2019? So
yeah,
roughly 2 years ago, which seems like, you know, forever considering last year.
Right, I know, last year like took forever.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah.
So, where am I going? I don't know if I'm just kind of catching up because I feel like we haven't talked since it's like so much has happened. I have another child.
Oh, since Whorehound?
Since 2000, since that last Horror Hound, yeah, because I think you got to see my daughter.
Yes.
And she was like, gosh, maybe she was about to turn 1, I think.
Yeah, she was little.
She was very little. Yeah, she's not, well, I mean, she's still little, but like not as little.
Right. Yeah, they grow up fast.
She's grown. She'll be 3 in October.
Oh.
We had our little boy in March 2nd. He's growing like a weed too. Like he's like 4 months old and he looks like a 6-month-old.
Well, it's nice to have a boy and a girl.
Yeah, we have one of each, so that's
horror fans too.
Fingers crossed. I mean, well, it's funny. I took him. We have, you know, like horror hosts and stuff like that, like for television. We have one in Indiana. His name's Sammy Terry, and I took him. He was at a comic shop up in the Indianapolis area, and I'm like, you know what? I want to go there. And my wife's like, well, you got to take one of the kids. I'm like, I'll take Jack. Whatever.
There you go.
I feel like he's not gonna be, because Sydney, like, it's hard telling if she's kind of at the age where, like, you know, you're not sure if something's gonna scare her or not, or
right.
Right. Like it's like little thing like she cannot stand fireworks right now. Like even like
a lot of kids go through that though. The whole
it's like
loud noises or something.
Loud noises or just like, you know, bugs, for instance. But it's funny because like I'll be watching a movie. Well, it's funny. Like we were watching Jaws the other day, or I was, and then she came in. She's like, "What are you watching?" I'm watching a shark movie. She comes in. Watch it. Luckily, I mean, yes, it's a horror movie, but like, you know, not as horrific as some other, you know, films.
Right.
And it got past all like the bloody scenes mostly, like, but it had. I think the only one that I covered her eyes for was when Clint gets killed.
Oh, yeah.
And she saw the shark pop out of the water. She goes, "Shark!" And I'm like, "Yeah, there's a shark." Because she likes fish and stuff like that. So she sees a shark and she's like, "Oh, that's a shark." And I go, "That's a bad shark." And she's like,
Aww.
"Bad." And it got to the part like where Brody kills it and blows him up, and she goes, "What happens?" Or "What happened?" I said, "He blew him up." He goes, "Why?" Like, because he was a bad shark. He was eating people. He's like, "Oh." So, but she wasn't scared. Luckily, I mean, like, it's weird. Like, she doesn't like. I haven't really been like. I try not to watch that kind of stuff when she's around, just like because I mean she's so young.
Right, of course.
I don't want to ruin her for those. On the off chance that she does become a horror fan like myself.
We'll let her watch Scooby Doo.
Yeah,
We all start Scooby Doo and stuff like that.
She likes Nightmare Before Christmas. That's one of her favorites. She loves Jack Skellington.
Yeah.
She loves it's funny because me and we were looking at like Funkos and stuff like that. She sees the mayor. For whatever reason, she likes the mayor the most. I guess just because he's really goofy.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, he's pretty goofy. It's so funny because she'll sit there and just like say random things. It's like, what are you saying? And she'll be like, come on, Bone Man, or something like that. I'm like, oh, that's what you're saying.
Kids say the cutest things.
They really do. Like, especially like because her favorite right now is Moana.
Yeah.
My gosh, she is obsessed with it. Not so much Moana, it's Maui that she's obsessed. Like she just loves like the songs to me. Like, yeah, that Moana is a great movie. Like, if we're gonna dive into Disney just for a second,
Disney.
Yeah, Moana is definitely a great movie. Like the music, like some of the songs on that, like could be not on the movie and actually be actual songs, and still be really good.
Keeps the kids entertained.
Of course. Okay, so I'll dive out of the Disney stuff. So getting into the questions. So for viewers and stuff, I'm sure a lot of the people watching right now are probably your followers.
Hey everybody, I'm trying to read everybody's thing.
It's great that people are following along with the conversation.
I love that.
So let's dive a little bit into origins here. Like, so for you, what is the first horror film you can remember watching, like as a kid?
Well, okay, so it's a little weird. The first thing I do remember watching that got me into horror was the Michael Jackson Thriller video. Mm-hmm. Like I can remember that like it was yesterday. And I was 5. And that, scared me, but I had fun with it too. So that really got me into it. There's pictures of me when I was about 3 watching Jaws 3. But I don't remember that. But I remember the pictures though. And all of us in the family, we had our 3D glasses on and we're in the living room watching this. I don't know. I don't know who had the movie. I don't know. But there's pictures of me watching that, but I just don't remember it very much. And then after the Thriller, I watched Making of Thriller all the time. So that really got me into horror movies. And then I was wondering what all the movies that he was talking about in the Making of Thriller, because he talked about American Wolf in London. That was like a huge inspiration and stuff. So then, of course, I was like, oh, well, I want to know what this movie is. I want to see what this movie is, what he's talking about. But I never could find that movie. So my first recollection was Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Yeah, weird. I don't know. I was 7.
They're just random.
And there's something in between the ages of 5 and 7 I watched. I'm not sure what it was. But I remember at 7 watching Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 with my parents. Isn't that great?
Yeah. I didn't have that
with my parents. And I remember them like, Kristy, close your eyes, and the whole shower scene. And, and then at, towards the end, and they're in the bungalow and they're making out, and of course I'm like, what's happening, and that got me like really interested in Nightmare on Elm Street. And then I went back and watched Part 1, and then I remember thinking, well, gosh, that's like so different, kind of different, and then I watched Part 3, and then I loved Part 3. So then I was like a huge Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger fan, and then just went on from there.
Loaded from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Elm Street Parts 1 through 3 are definitely like the best of that franchise. Like, I like, honestly, I'd say probably either 3. Probably 3 is like would be my favorite, just because of such like it's one of the only films that ever made me like cringe
Did it?
because of the marionette scene.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the what's his name?
Philip.
Philip. Yeah, yeah. I was texting my buddy about it like years ago. He's saying marionette Philip, huh? And I'm like, yeah, that messed me up for a little bit because like the whole like tendons and
Yeah,
stuff.
and see that was my favorite. That was my favorite one in part 3.
It's great and it's definitely like a great kill, but it just kind of like because I'm weird about like my veins and stuff and
Yeah. Oh no, I got you.
no, that's hard to watch.
It is hard to watch, and I guess it's probably why it was my favorite too. At the same time, I just met him recently here in Vegas. Bradley, that played Philip, and he's also one of my other favorite movies, Class of 1999. I love that movie. So, yeah, I just met him. He's a really good guy, really nice.
It's always great to like meet these people that and they're actually good people, like because you'll see people in films who play these like bad guys are always the nicest,
Right.
and then like sometimes like the stars of the films turn out to be the douchebags, and you're just like you weren't worth my $60. we had Days of the Dead in Indianapolis this past weekend.
Yeah, I seen everybody's photos.
It was definitely a great show. It was I was there Saturday. I made a walkthrough video. That's definitely getting some getting some. I think it's got, last time I checked it, it's got over 300 something. I'm like, holy crap, that's something I made. It has that many views. I mean, so some people that's like 300 views, whatever. I'm like, whatever. That's a lot for me.
We're all ready to get back to conventions and have some fun again. I know that.
It definitely was great to be back in like my I just said it the other day. My what's the word?
Like your element.
Yeah, element. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Element, yes. But it's just great to like be amongst, because like last year, there were no conventions, but the ones that did happen, there were nobody there. Because Days of the Dead Indianapolis did happen last year.
Yeah.
They probably shouldn't have happened, but it did. They went ahead and had it. And there was like nobody there.
There was in the October show here in Vegas, though.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
those things kind of started
to die down just a little bit. Yeah.
Enough to people like, hey, let's go to a convention. Yeah, because I think I remember seeing a lot of posts for that as well. And didn't they just have another show like recently, or was that might have?
Yep.
That was.
We had one in October, and then we just had one in May.
Gotcha. That was the one I was thinking of, because I know there was another show that was out that way, but I think that was Mad Monster Party or something.
Mad Monster is in Arizona, I think.
Yeah. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I finally got to meet Bill Moseley.
Yeah, he's
like, it's funny, like, because I told him this story too, because like 6 years ago, it was like 2015, I think, in Indianapolis at Horror Hound. I wasn't that familiar with him yet. Like, I knew him from like Devil's Rejects and House of 1,000 Corpses, and I'd seen him, and I didn't know really what he looked like in person. Right. So I'm used to most people at their booths have like a handler that handles their money and the stuff like that. And he didn't. And I'm sitting there looking at his stuff and just kind of being a jackass, honestly. And I'm just like looking at his stuff. And I think it was like Repo the Genetic Opera. I'm like, oh, I started watching that once. And he's like, well, it's a good one. And then like I up and just walked away from his table, just thinking like, he's not even there. Well, a little bit later, I was in line. It was like in the same general area, and I look back at his table, and I kind of do a double take. I'm like, that was Bill Moseley. And like for the longest time, I'm like, I can't meet him now.
Oh, no, I hope you did, though.
I did finally. Like this past weekend, it took me 5 years, but I finally meet.
Oh, it's been 5 minutes. Okay, I gotcha.
That whole gap, like, yeah. I told him So I walked up, so I'm like, Bill, I got a story for you. And he's like, okay. And I told him, and he laughed, actually. He said, well, at least you weren't one of those people that I've had people look at my table, look at me, look at my banner, look back at me, and then go, so when does he get here? I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wow. Okay.
She's like, weren't one of those people. I'm like, no kidding. I feel a little less bad about my story now.
Funny. Oh my God. I know I had a little bit of a crazy story when I first met Kane Hodder. And then when he came into my store and did the signing, then I told him, and then I showed him our picture together, and he laughed. He loved it. But my first Texas Frightmare, my first person I met was Kane Hodder. And that was pretty much my first big person I'd ever met altogether anyway.
Yeah.
So nervous, and you always have everything you want to say, and then you get there and it just goes away. I say, I don't know what I was saying. I was sounding stupid. Then he just looked at me like I'm stupid. And then I sit down for the photo next to him because he's sitting in a chair. So I sit in the chair next to him. And I automatically just throw my hand on his thigh real close.
Hello.
I don't know. Yeah, let's take a picture. Didn't even realize I'm doing that. And then I didn't even realize about the picture until I post the picture. And then everybody's like, oh, Kristy, your hand's a little close. I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh
no.
So I'm embarrassed. So every time I post that picture, everybody makes fun of me. Now it's just kind of funny. But I showed Kane, and I was like, oh my God, the first time I met you, look at our picture. He's like, oh, he loved it. That was funny.
I need to meet him again because I haven't met him since. I think the only thing I have signed by him is a Jason X photo or something like that. And there's so much stuff because I'm hoping at Horror Hound in September they got Robert Englund.
Yeah.
And before it got canceled, I'm pretty sure Kane Hodder was going to be there because I don't know if you can see back here, I got the Jason and Freddie Funko pack. And I need to get that signed.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool signed.
Let's see, where
I've never seen anybody have that signed.
Yeah, I mean, I was just, because so many renditions of Jason, I feel like people don't know who to have that signed. Yeah. It's like, well, I mean, I know Kane Hodder as Jason the most. I mean, just because he played him the most, I guess.
Right.
More or less. I met Alice Cooper this weekend. That was cool too.
How awesome is that?
I had to sign my Prince of Darkness, which was pretty cool. I don't know if it'll glare.
Oh, that's cool. Hell yeah.
I asked him how, because, I mean, with the bigger stars like that, you don't get a whole lot of time with them. But, he was really genuine. I asked him how working with, Vincent Price was back when he did, he was the curator on, I think, one of the songs on Welcome to My Nightmare, and he was talking about how great he was, and when he actually did a tour with him, I guess, where he would come out and do the curator thing, and I'm like, holy crap, that'd be awesome to see.
Yeah, really, I didn't know that. Oh.
It was news to me too, because I can't say I'm not the biggest Alice Cooper fan, but I'm a fan, obviously. I was gonna meet him just because I feel like that was it was either him or Richard Dreyfuss, and I was more leaning towards Alice Cooper. But I think
it's fun. He's a talker, so he's fun. Though. Yeah,
I could sense that. I walked past his table a couple times, and he just seemed like he was a chatty Cathy. I got him on. I think I got him on my walkthrough, so that was pretty cool. And then I met. He's not really well known, but his name's Sky Elabar. He was from a movie called Greasy Strangler.
Oh yes.
And then he was also in Candy Corn.
Yeah.
I knew him. I took him and I had one of the promotional posters they handed out, one of the first showings of Candy Corn. He's like, oh my God, dude, where'd you get that? And I'm like, well, I got it. They had it was Horror Hound March of 2019 before the movie had even come out yet, or even had its initial screening. It was a pre-screening.
Mm-hmm.
And they handed out posters at the showing, and then the next day at the convention they did a panel, and after the panel they handed out the posters too, and I'm like, holy crap, I got 2 of these now. So I guess they're kind of rare now, so that's pretty cool to think.
Well, that's good. Yeah. Have you seen Strangler?
I have not. I know it's on. I think it's on Amazon Prime. I know it's kind of out there.
Yeah.
Like, really kind of. I think
Just watch it and get back.
I'll watch. Like, okay, we got to talk about this. All right. So moving on. So what? So back to like the horror and nightmare toys. So like, what made you decide that you wanted to open like, a horror theme, like initially a horror themed toy store? Like, when did that idea come about?
Actually, so it's just a very easy, short, simple story. I had a job that I needed to quit. It was time to go.
Yeah.
And, I needed to do something else. So me and Philip Martin, he was like, well, let's just open up a little horror store, a little toy store, and it was supposed to be just for something to do.
Yeah. Little did we know.
Something to do. It blew up. So
little did we know this thing would become a massive hit.
Yep. I was sitting there in Alabama, just sitting there, trying to sell some toys, and now here I am in Las Vegas. So yeah.
I'd say that's pretty successful for a little something to do job.
Right? But yeah, I mean, that's basically what it was, and then we just, we got the spot where we were at, and Philip is very business minded, so he knows what he's doing. He owns other businesses as well, so we do own other businesses, so it's not the only thing that we do own. So business wise,
yeah, which is good to have for sure,
of course. So and then we just rented out a little spot, and then just started calling all the big names and trying to get the toys in, and then there you go. We just started going, and then it's just social media. Social media is, to me, if I give anybody advice out there that's doing anything that you want to sell or whatever, social media is the key. I mean, if you don't stay on your social media and post content at least daily, you got to do it to stuff, because there's a lot of people I've come across over the years, people that make things or whatever, and they ask my advice on how they could sell more or do more or market more, and I always say social. You got Instagram, YouTube, whatever, anything, and then they always are like, oh, I hate doing social media. I just don't like it. I barely get on there. I'm like, well, then.
Sorry about you.
Yeah, that's really the key to it. It really is.
It's really like in today's society, I mean, social media is the key to advertisement.
It is. I mean, and if you don't do it, you don't put in the work, it's just not going to happen.
Like you might see like ads for stuff in like, Horror Hound magazine and stuff like that, but like anywhere else, I mean, you're not going to see an advertisement for it on television.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to see it like, if you're on social media, it's odds. I mean, that's how products get sold, is people see it through advertisements on Facebook, Instagram, what have you.
Yeah. So that's my advice to everybody. Just, be consistent. That's the best advice I can be. Just be consistent on whatever you're doing, and, post daily, and just be on it.
Honestly, that's like me right now. I'm just trying to be like, I'm trying to grow this whole thing I'm doing. Like, like for about a week, I was just kind of like, on the down, like, last week we were supposed to do this on Thursday, and I was like, I'm not with it. And I don't want to do this if I'm not feeling 100%.
Right.
Like that's initially why I was like, we'll push it off. We'll wait until I'm in a better state of mind, and then, we'll go at it. And I'm just trying to, and I made that apology. My wife's like, what? I mean, you don't have to, apologize. Well, I'm like, well, I'm trying to get to a point of relevancy where people are like, hey, he's making content. Like, let's watch his stuff, or let's, look at his posts. I'm like, I've got people that, look at my stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to, like, let them down, I guess, in a manner of speaking.
But we all go through things. I mean, I go through things. We all go through things. We all have our days, bad days, good days, so,
Yeah. So when I went to that, and it was just like, when going to that convention, just like, I'm like, okay, fresh mind. I'm fully, like, refreshed now.
Right? Of course.
So this guy is asking a question. This is actually one of my questions, asking about like opening a shop elsewhere. So, there's only one location as of now. Is there any like plans to open another location for Nightmare?
Have definitely talked about it. We've definitely been talking about that. Vegas was our main thing as of right now, and we're still building here in Vegas. We're building our restaurant bar, Nightmare Cafe. So we've already got that kind of going on. And then plus an expansion of the store as well.
Oh, wow.
Is it something that we may do in the future? Possibly.
Mm. But nothing.
Possibly, maybe up north that way. We might put a store. I don't want to say where yet, but we're thinking. We're thinking. Maybe up in the New England state somewhere.
That would be a pretty good place to put something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe.
But we're this side of the country, so we need to be way over here. But I don't want to say where yet, but we're thinking about certain cities and certain states and certain things.
Up in the Northeast.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a good place to, like, especially like New York and stuff like that in that general area.
Well, think about it. This is how we think about it. We've also thought about possibly putting a hub in Canada because we have a lot of Canadian customers.
Yeah.
If we did something like that, it would be a lot cheaper for us and for the customer for shipping.
Very true.
Because then we would have a hub in different spots instead of it just being in one location, something having to go way across country and it being $15 when you could, get it from the hub where you're close to, and it'd be $8 for shipping. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's our way of thinking about it on why we would do it. Because shipping is getting outrageous.
Like, I mean, just like my light is flickering. I don't like that.
Got ghosts.
I actually would prefer ghosts because then that would be a good reason for it to be flickering. But I think the light's about to die. Time to change a light bulb.
To go.
But yeah, that's not a terrible idea, because I mean, you got these stores that people like to buy from. Like, there's a store called Mad About Horror that's based in like the UK, and it's like, I'm not gonna, like, I want to buy from them, but again, I'm not gonna buy from them because I can get that same stuff over here.
Right.
It's like,
and we have a lot of customers from over there too that just maybe Mad About Horror might be out of something and we're not, or or whatever, vice versa. But yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. I don't know where I was going with that.
One day you may see a Nightmare Toys in your city, in your hometown. Never know. Never. We have all kinds of tricks up our sleeve right now.
I believe that, especially with like you said, when you were talking about the Nightmare Cafe, I saw the announcement for that a little while ago, and thought that was a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Yeah, it's gonna be a restaurant bar, not a coffee shop. A lot of people think it's a coffee shop because the name, but it's not. Will we have coffee? Yes, of course. But it is a bar, a full bar, full restaurant. We're gonna have bar food, and since we're from Alabama, Southern food as well.
Yeah, makes sense.
It'll be horror themed, obviously. So yeah, everything will be horror themed. Well, there's going to have tons of TVs, and it's going to be fun.
Oh, nothing but horror, man, that'd be so good. I know there's actually a restaurant opening up in Cleveland. I think it may have opened already. I don't know if you've seen an advertisement for it. The haunted.
Yes, it's like haunted horror bar or something like that. Yeah.
The haunted. Oh, man, it's on the tip of my tongue. I was literally just looking at it, and I can't think. Haunted something.
Yeah.
But anyway. yeah, it's a horror theme, like, sit down restaurant. Like, looks
Right.
really
Yeah.
not like fine dining, but like it's an actual restaurant, not
Right.
like a diner. But I definitely want to take a trip to go there. But I definitely need to take a trip to Las Vegas and come see you guys.
Yeah. There's tons to do here for horror fans anyway. So, you've got Tom Devlin's Monster Museum in Boulder City. I highly suggest doing that. And then just a few streets over from where we're at is the Zach Baggins Museum too. So you could always make a whole day of it because we're in the arts district downtown.
Yeah, I remember.
Lots of things to do actually, and lots of little shops and restaurants and all kinds of cool little stuff. So you can make a day of it to come down there and come see us. And then once we get the bar open, you can have a drink and some food, go shopping, and
spend all my money.
Yeah, but it's gonna get drunk and then go in the store and just spend all their money.
That'd be a terrible thing to do, but I would not regret it.
We thought about putting in a couple of machines, but then no, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I definitely it would definitely be cool to kind of go out, because I've never been out west. Like, the farthest west I've gone is Branson, Missouri. And
Vegas. Road trip.
Branson, Missouri is initially the Gatlinburg without the mountains.
Yeah.
There's nothing there really, except. But I definitely want to. I want to venture out at some point. I mean, obviously, kids get a little older, but because there's a lot of cool stuff out in California. Like, I want to see museums and stuff out there, like Slashback Video and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they're closed. They're closing this week, or they did close last week or something, did they?
I don't know if that was them themselves or because I know they opened it was like a little side exhibit. It was like Slashback the beginning or something. I don't know if it's that they were talking about or if it was the actual whole museum that they were shutting down. I'm not 100% sure.
I think it was because my employee Steven just went. He went last week and he's like, yeah, I wanted to get out there and see it before they closed down.
Huh.
Because he brought me back a sticker.
Because I know they're partners with that Mystic Museum, I believe it's called.
Wanting to get out there and see all that too, but they closed. But it's good. I can say this, and I hope they're listening. They Slashback Video. I've been following them for a long time, and they gave me an inspiration to put my movies in my store because I always liked because all of us were nostalgic and we loved going to the video store when we were kids and getting our horror movies. And I wanted to have that in my store. I wanted to have that nostalgia for everybody. And I remember I've been following them for a long time. I loved their store and I always wanted to go there. And they kind of give me the inspiration. I'm like, okay, I want to take just a little bit of what they have and just put it in my store because, my store isn't just all videos anyway. But, we're doing an expansion of the store, so hopefully I'm wanting my video section to be even bigger than what it is now, though.
The little video store section.
Yeah, I already have Kristy's movies of the week, which I need to change that up, and we need to start doing employee movies of the week because that's what Blockbuster and all that did anyway. So that'd be fun.
Well, have your own section, but then have the employee section as well.
Yeah. I just need to get it bigger and expand it some more. But yeah, that was my idea. I had to get the movies in there.
Definitely a nice touch for sure. To add to the Evergreen
Syndrome and Arrow and Severin and all that in my store, and I'm just that excites me more than anything because for me as a collector, I love collecting physical copies of movies more than I do anything else.
Absolutely.
Well, and t-shirts. We all know I love my t-shirts. T-shirts and physical copies of movies before anything else is what I like to collect.
Honestly, I could attest to that. I agree. Movies and shirts. I am a shirt junkie. In fact, I'm sponsored by Fright Rag, so I mean,
there you go.
I get shirts, and she's like, "Where are all these shirts coming from?" I'm like, I'm sponsored. I get shirts.
I love shirts.
And I love hats too, so this one's also Fright Rag's hat.
Yeah, and Nightmare Toys and Fright Rags are sponsoring the Valentine's Bluff fan film as well.
I've been seeing about that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Can't wait.
I know you're supposed to be in it, actually.
Yep, I have a small part in it.
Small role. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I at this point in my life, I don't know if I would be better as like I don't, because I'm not a great actor. I'll put that out there. Like I worked at a haunted house for a little bit, and it's it's not hard to be a zombie. But I mean, it's hard to be a good zombie, I guess. But it just like I don't know. I enjoyed it, but it's like I'm not that good at it.
Well, I am no actor, but I sure will give it a try.
All those things, like I had fun with it. I feel like at this point, like, because I'm enjoying this whole filming stuff and shooting stuff, like, just even if they're like, little walkthroughs of conventions, it's still fun to go through and just kind of like, just filming and stuff. So I don't know if that'll be on the horizon or not.
So what convention are you going to next?
Next, I would say Horror Hound in September, which is surprising.
4 conventions that same weekend. So I'm doing Texas Frightmare that weekend.
Same weekend as, because I think I asked you, I'm like, you guys think you'll come to, you said you had to do what?
Otherwise, we would have.
Yeah.
Because we really enjoyed Horror Hound, but
it was such a long haul to bring that.
Trust me, weird. We were like, okay, maybe we're just going to start doing more conventions in California. I mean, because now, since we're not in Alabama, which is kind of like in the middle, somewhat, sort of, we have to drive all the way across country now.
Yeah.
We want to get back into doing conventions and doing more conventions and stuff. So we'll do it. It'll be all right. It'll be good.
Yeah. I know, Horror Hound, they're probably, when it comes to like getting tables and stuff, though, it seems like they sell out as soon as like say for like instance, like March convention is over. It's like if you don't reserve a table, like as soon as that show's over for the next one, it's like they're already sold out almost.
Yes, but there might be a wait list or something. I know we're on a wait list for Monster Palooza, so we'll see. I'm
definitely wanting to branch out convention wise, because I usually I try to stay within my area so I don't have to make get on a plane and go to a convention. Because I mean, I have a family now, so that's a little harder to do, and I don't want to just leave them.
Right.
Like it's different when I can go somewhere that's 45 minutes to an hour away from me, because then I can come home and still be like close. So like when I go to conventions now, like say if I go like Friday and Saturday, I'll go to the convention Friday night. I'll drive home and stay there and help out that next morning, and then like take off and go to the convention and then come back. Because I used to before having a family, I would just stay at the hotel up there.
Right, of course.
But now I don't do that. I've become a family man, I guess.
Gotta take care of responsibilities.
Yeah. Responsibilities. I don't want sponsorability.
I
love Rugrats.
A little older, and then they can maybe go to conventions with you and see.
That's the goal. Like I really hope that my kids, especially, well, I mean, it doesn't matter either one, both of them. Honestly, I would take both of them.
Conventions when I was a kid, that would have been cool.
Yeah, I wish I knew about conventions before I knew about conventions, because I didn't start going to them until my first one was Horror Hound in March of 2014, I believe. And I remember they had Jamie Lee Curtis there probably 2 years before that in Indianapolis. I'm like, the one time she does a convention, and I'm actually a huge Halloween fan. I remember, I think the first time I ever even heard about Horror Hound, I went to FYE, and some guy was wearing a work shirt. And it had Halloween on it. I'm like, where'd you get that shirt? And he told me, he's like, oh, I got it at Horror Hound weekend. I'm like, what is that?
Right?
He's like, well, I'll tell you what it is. I went up and looked at it, and I'm like, yep, I know where I'm going in March.
Yeah, Horror Hound was awesome. It's huge.
because you've only been to the indie show. The Cincy show is kind of like it's. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's hard to kind of describe size wise because the convention center in Indianapolis is huge. But like Horror Hound in Cincinnati, it was kind of where it all started actually, because Horror Hound's actually based in like the Cincinnati area because obviously it's a magazine.
Right.
It's in Cincinnati area, so that's where it kind of originated from. And the Sharonville Convention Center is, I mean, it's large as well, but it's kind of hard to really justify sizes, like I said, because you've been to the Indianapolis one,
Right.
and then that is just, you could fit a state in that thing. It's really bad, but like there's just something homey about the convention center. That the Sharonville Convention Center is what it's called. It's just something homey about that. And I don't know if it's just because it's the first convention I ever went to, but I don't know. It's something you'd have to like, go to and like see for yourself, I think. I tell that to everybody who go like, what's so special about the Cincinnati Horror Hound? I'm like, I don't know. There's just something about it.
Just got to go to find out.
Just have to see it to believe it. Seeing is believing. So we've come
about the new Halloween movie then. I think we have Halloween fans joining in, so
I've seen a lot of people like, I'm a huge Halloween fan. I'm like, yes, me too. I know that you're not excited about it, which that's fine.
Yes.
Like
burn out already.
The thing with Halloween is there is always like there's two types of Halloween fans.
Okay.
That's the problem with Halloween. You got the Halloween fans that's the only horror films they know. Like, is they just watch, like they worship those films, and that's the problem because, then you got fans over here that, they love the films. They could say that it's their favorite franchise, but they can still sit there and pick the crap out of them.
Right.
Whereas people over here are like, there's nothing wrong with these films. They're perfect films. They're Halloween.
Well, maybe I'm like over here in my own little section then. I love Halloween.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love all the movies. I don't have a favorite character. I like everybody. I like all the movies. It's all cool. What I don't like with 2018 and now with this is the storyline. The storyline sucks.
Yeah.
It does not. The storyline's bad. Not a good storyline. That's all I want to say about it. I hate that. I like Myers. He looks cool. The kills are cool. I like that. But that's about all I like. And I'm not a big Greer being in these movies. I like her. I love every movie she's done, but I don't like her in this at all. Like, it's nails on a chalkboard for me, her being in these movies.
Yeah.
Doesn't fit. I don't like how Laurie Strode is. I don't like any of that. I like the storyline, which makes complete sense, of H2O. It's a simple, makes complete sense storyline on what would actually happen to her after what 78 was. She became a head of a school. Right. That's believable because she was studious. She was a bookworm. So yeah, that's believable. She became an alcoholic. Of course she became an alcoholic because she was scared her whole life with Michael Myers. So yeah, that's believable.
The whole change name and
son, though, she had a daughter and then she had a son, that kind of went off. But and then her changing her name and changing her identity. Yeah, that's believable. If you went through all that, that could be something you could do, change your whole identity. So to me, all that was just more believable and more makes sense than what they're doing with 2018 and Halloween Kills. So there's my 2 cents.
I can respect that. I don't disagree with you, honestly, because it's the storyline is a little.
It's way beyond off kilter. It's just too much.
It's a little too out there. Yeah, like it's just they didn't need to. I call it an alternate sequel, like the alternate sequel storyline.
Yeah.
Because Halloween has become one of these pick your own adventure franchises.
Maybe, yeah, that's a good way to put it. There you go. Yeah.
Like, I mean, say for instance, you don't like Halloween 18 and Halloween Kills. I mean, that's not an issue. I mean, there's still the other, like, say, a lot of people love the Thorn trilogy.
Right.
I love the Thorn trilogy. Or if you like there's the Laurie Lives storyline where Halloween 2, H2O, and Resurrection. Or I guess the Thorn trilogy was the Laurie Dies trilogy. And then you have the new one where I call it the alternate sequel
Yeah.
universe or storyline.
And I just don't like that they changed that. Okay, well, so now it's not his sister now. I thought that was a good reason for him to be after her.
But now he's just like, after a while you'd think, oh, well.
So, I mean, I mean, that's just my opinion. I understand that there's big Halloween fans out there like you that y'all love it. But I'm more of a storyline that makes complete sense than a storyline that's completely out there just so we can get gore and stuff.
That's fair. But it's like,
if we're going to keep doing Michael Myers. I just think at this point, let's just stop.
Let's make a sequel to Season of the Witch, please.
Yeah, right?
Like, I could spend this whole rest of this conversation that we're having talking about how awesome Halloween 3 is.
All right, we can do that. I can do that too.
Honestly. Those are I'm talking about those Halloween fans that can't stand Halloween 3. Oh, Michael Myers isn't in the movie. You know what? I'm a Myers guy myself. I could, but like Halloween 3 is one of the best horror films ever made.
Yeah, it's a great, like Halloween-esque type film. Like the set Halloween.
Exactly.
It's perfect.
The setting,
perfect.
I mean, it's based around Halloween, and the fact that they actually say Samhain correctly, that bugs me. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's Sam Hain." I'm like, "Yeah, but the original pronunciation for it is Samhain. If you see in Trick or Treat, they call it Samhain."
Yeah.
Celtic wanted it pronounced this way. Pronounce it this way.
And it was supposed to be a trilogy.
Yeah. I mean, an anthology, kind of like and people don't understand that. Like, I feel like, and I was thinking about this, like, it didn't have a great, obviously, turnout. Like, it was a flop. But I feel like if they had today's meaning of, getting information out, like, how, like, John Carpenter could have went on, or Tommy Lee Wallace could have went on and said, well, this isn't, this movie's not what you think it is. Because people go to a theater and say, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, oh, it's another Michael Myers movie. But they don't know that it's not.
Right.
But if they would have had like today's technology and ways of, contact, or like, letting people know information with like Facebook and stuff, letting people know, hey, this is not a Michael Myers film. It's a completely original idea.
Mm-hmm.
Have an open mind when you come to the theater.
See, I know, like, when I was younger, I had that mindset, oh, well, I don't think that's probably a pretty good movie because there's not Michael Myers in it. But I didn't really ever get to watch it, though, to enjoy it. It was never on any TV. It was never on HBO or anything. And it wasn't in my video store. I remember that. It was never in my video store. So I just never got to really watch it until I got to be older. And then I appreciated it then. But
it was like
it's just a movie.
Yeah, when I first started watching horror movies, like when I first started kind of getting into the Halloween franchise, like I had that kind of mindset as well. The first time I watched them, like, this would be better if Michael was in it. But I was one of those horror fans. I was kind of new.
Me too.
Because the thing is, like, I didn't grow up around horror films. Like, I didn't have that kind of upbringing. I was more like, I was one of those kids that watched the same 10 movies, like, forever. I was one of those kids.
Trust me, I had a lot of movies I watched all the time, over and over.
Like, I've told this story numerous of times to people. Like, people are always asking me, like, you know a lot about horror. I'm like, trust me, it's not like, I've had to do a lot of catching up because I really didn't become a horror fan until my late teens. Like I was probably, you know, as a kid and a teenager, well, kid mostly, I was terrified. Like I couldn't watch, I couldn't do it. I couldn't watch horror films. I was a scared little shit.
Uh-oh. Well, then I would have loved to have you as a friend because you would have came over and that's what I would have put in the TV.
Because
I love hearing my friends. I didn't have friends that were into the horror movies like me. And my parents, they let me watch them, but they didn't like it because I'm a girl. Girls aren't supposed to like those. That's for boys. That's all I ever heard from my family, from everybody. So me liking horror movies as a child was just my thing. It was just for me. I would go in my room and shut the door and watch movies. Now, they would let me rent whatever I wanted. They didn't stop me. My sister tried to stop me. I have an older sister, and I don't know why, but every time she'd barge in my room, it would always be at a scene where there's sex or boobs or something on the TV, and get mad, and she'd have to go tell our mom, "Oh, you should see what Kristy is watching in here." And then my mom would just be like, "Stay out of her room. Just let her watch. Just, I'm not getting into trouble. I'm not doing anything. Just let her watch. Just leave her alone."
Let her watch. She's expressing herself.
Yeah, but they didn't like it. They didn't. I didn't get any toys or anything of that nature. So I didn't collect, and they did call me morbid and all that. So
at least they didn't hold you back, though. At least
no,
at least...
back. Thank God. No, they let me rent that stuff.
I honestly I feel like if I would have been that way, like my parents probably wouldn't have cared either. But I was. They had a fun time. My brother did. Because my oldest, as I have two older brothers, my oldest brother, he was a big horror fan back when he was younger, and it was Scream for me for whatever reason. It was something to do with masks that really just terrified me, and I think it was that specifically him because he has the cloak,
right?
Old black cloak, and he's got the mask, and for whatever reason, the ghost face mask just like. That imagery and it's so simple, it's so weird, but it just terrified me. Like if Halloween was completely different for me as a kid, because I still loved it, but like I could almost not go down a Halloween aisle because I was too afraid I was going to see that mask. It's a little like sitting here, like I'll tell people like I've made friends with at conventions, like, yeah, I was a completely different person as a kid. They're like, no kidding? I'm like, yeah, you'd be ashamed of me. This is how bad it was. My mom and we went to Walmart, and this was back when they used to put like, they used to do a lot with Halloween on like decorations and stuff. But up on like the freezer section, they had like statues, and they had a Scream statue. And I saw it, and I'm like, oh no. And like, at this point, I was kind of getting a little less afraid of it, but still, I was still like, not over it.
Yeah.
So my mom, who she is, she's probably the reason I'm into this stuff now. Just not because she's into horror movies, but she's just one of those people that just likes to play jokes and pranks. Like she drew me through a cemetery, like there's something moving out there and stuff like that. And I'm like, one of those parents. So we're walking, and I'm clutched to her like arm, like looking up. She's like, it's not real, Shane. It's fake. It's just a statue. He's not gonna hurt you. Blah blah blah. And as soon as we're like right under it, she goes, "Oh, I think he moved." And here goes 7-year-old Shane screaming bloody murder running down Walmart.
Oh no!
He's like, "What about
that statue now?"
It's funny because like things that I used to be afraid of are like everything I'm into now. It's kind of weird how it kind of totally flipped. Like everything that, like Scream's one of my favorite films now. And like my mom's always like, I can't believe you're into that stuff. Like you used to be so afraid of it. I'm like, I know, it's so weird. Like things like, all I'm into.
That's all I watch, like literally. Like I don't watch too much of anything else really.
Is there really anything else to watch.
Maybe a good comedy every now and then, but yeah. Oh, I do like mob movies. Anything to do with the mob?
Oh yeah, those will be good. I'm still, you know, because like I said, this page, my thing I run, I don't want it to be. It's not a specific horror page because you know there's so many horror specific pages out there, and I wanted to kind of make this a little bit of everything. So like, yeah, I'm still into the comic stuff. I still, you know, I like the Marvel, DC stuff, and I still watch those movies. So I mean, I take a break from horror every once in a while just to kind of balance myself out, I guess. She's like, you need to balance yourself out a little more. That's literally all you watch. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. I'll probably watch like, you know, Captain Marvel or something.
All those universes, all those they're superheroes. I don't know. I can't keep up with all that.
It's definitely an investment, and you definitely have to like, you know, have a lot of time on your hands to kind of like,
Yeah,
because there's so much to it. Like growing up as a kid, like the only the only superhero I really, you know, knew about was like Spider-Man. And then like growing up, they make all these like Iron Mans, Captain Americas. I'm like, then I started getting into them and stuff. I'm like, oh, there's like a universe to this stuff. Okay.
well, I was into Superman, but I mean, I'm older than you, so
Yeah.
I was watching Christopher Reeve Superman movies, and I loved those.
And I definitely,
Of course, Man, 1989, Michael Keaton, the only.
the only Batman. I do like me some Batman. I'm interested to see because he's supposed to be in some Flash movie. They're doing so because like
Yeah,
DC's really kind of cashing in on the whole Marvel extended universe.
what I was told.
Do what? Oh,
Back as Batman is what I was told.
yeah. So we'll see what happens there. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm excited about that if he does.
So back to what we were talking about. We're talking about Halloween 3. So here's an interesting bit. There's been a lot of controversy about, and this is none of my business, but you know, it's Halloween business. The whole Tony Moran shindig thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of Danielle Harris. I don't know why she was so interested in getting his, you know, because those two were at Days of the Dead this past weekend.
I seen it.
Yeah, you saw it. Did you see the one where they went live, like the Q&A where they talked and I'm like sitting here like, how genuine could he possibly be though? It's like, I don't know. He said some pretty terrible things, and I don't care how long ago it was. You don't just brush those things under the bus.
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
And it's like, you're talking about my fans or everything, but you called them losers. Like really? Like, yeah, I got this loser here wanting me to sign his poster so he can go home and jack off to it. And I'm like, that's pretty terrible to say. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just because he's starting to realize people are tired of his shit.
I hear. I hear. I just stay neutral.
I try, but just every once in a while, I just kind of like, you know what? I'm gonna give my 2 cents on this. I try to stay out of the controversies. I don't want to make a bad name for myself. Like, I'm trying to make a name for myself, let alone a bad name for myself.
Well, who have been the like your favorite person that you have met?
Favorite person that I've met? Am I getting interviewed now?
Yeah.
Favorite person I have met? That is a hard question.
Doing that. I'm used to doing that.
Oh my gosh. Because I've met I've been going to conventions since 2014, so it's, I met a lot of people in that time. Oh man.
It's always hard to have a favorite whenever you've met so many people, though.
And I've had so many good experiences.
Right.
And like rarely have I can't say I've had a bad experience.
I haven't had a bad experience with anybody. Because
Yeah.
I have read and seen people have bad experience with people, like they were mean to them or whatever the case may be. But luckily, I haven't had any bad experiences with anybody at all.
I think it's definitely fun to meet people that are really just like you could tell they're being genuine. They're not acting like they're trying to be, the nice guy.
Right, of course.
I've actually had somebody I met ask if have we met before, and I'm like, no, but I mean, it's cool to think that I look familiar. That was Terrence Adunich, who plays in Repo the Genetic Opera.
Okay.
He plays the grave robber.
Okay. I've watched that movie one time.
I don't know if you've ever seen The Devil's Carnival. It's a musical. Well, I mean, both of those movies are musicals.
I do know what you're talking about, but that one I haven't seen, but I do know what you're talking about.
He's kind of the curator of all that stuff. Like, he actually wrote a lot of the music for those films, I guess, which is pretty cool. I gave him a lot of money that day. Oh, man, I'm still thinking about, like, my favorite person that I've met. I don't know if I can answer that. I don't know. I'm the first question you've ever asked me. I'm saying, like, I don't even know.
I loved Barbara Crampton. I met her at Texas Frightmare. She's really sweet.
Yeah, they had a Reanimator reunion.
I was like, ooh, thanks.
Au contraire.
I'm like, nice live. Philip was like, does that make your day? Yes, it does.
I'm still thinking. I have a lot of like favorites. Like when I met, one of the first people I ever met, I think, was Scott Wilson. I think he was the very first guest at a convention I ever met. That was cool. I think meeting, let's see here. Actually, it's not horror related. It's more music related. I got to meet, like, basically, I did this meet and greet where it was like a pizza party, basically, with a bunch of bands. And they were a bunch of, like, just, like, kind of, like, metal, hardcore bands. And it was, like, before the show. Because it was, like, I think it was the record label is called Sumerian Records. They do a bunch of, like, progressive metal bands and stuff like that. But anyway, there was a lot of those bands. Like, they came out and we had like pizza together basically, and we're sitting there just like, just bullshitting before the show and everything. It was just really cool. Like, it was such a neat experience. Like, just I'm eating pizza with these guys that I listen to music from. It's like,
try working in a club and then a band that you listen to all the time will just walks in. That's
hey.
That's
another cool experience was Kip Weeks, who plays the Man in the Mask in the first Strangers movie.
Mm-hmm.
I kept running into him at Horror Hound in, like, I think it was Indianapolis back in like 2017 or something like that. And I was in line to get a beer at the Scarlet Lane. They're a brewery out of Indianapolis area, and he was in line to get a beer, and we were sitting there talking. I'm like, man, I'm just running into you all over the place. I'm not. He's like, I know, right? Am I walking around too much? And he got up to him. He turns around to me. Hey, you want a beer? And I'm like, I guess. And I'm like, sure. I'm not gonna say no. So it was kind of cool to think, like, I'm sitting there looking at the cover of the Stranger, like, that guy bought me a beer.
Yeah. And I'm having Cheney Morrow and Damian Maffey at the store July 31st.
I love Damien. Damien is he's a riot.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
I'm actually in the process of getting an interview with Cheney. Actually, I was messaging him about a week ago. I said, hey, you
I know you're doing some movies right now and stuff, but would you be free to do an interview sometime? And he said he'd be down for it. So definitely be excited to talk about Haunt.
Yeah.
He's been like, it's funny because he's in a lot of movies that Damien's in.
They were both in Wrong Turn.
Yeah.
Wrong
And I think the remake or the reboot. Yeah. I need to watch, like, I have it on digital. I just haven't watched it yet. And I've heard really good things, actually. I know I think they're in a movie coming up called On Location.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be
I don't know.
You know, where they go to film locations and stuff like that, where they see, like, you know, where films were made. I guess it's along those lines. The storyline is, because I think it's those two, and I know Felissa Rose is going to be in it.
Nice. So
it's a pretty good lineup. But yeah, I'm excited to talk to Cheney. And this isn't confirmed, but I'm working on an interview. I don't know if you've heard of the band Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah, they've been in the store tons of times.
I believe that.
Yes.
Their vocalist, he's like, you know, he's basically the curator of that band. Like,
yeah, he's great. And a few times. They like Nightmare Toys. Everybody's like, it's fun.
Oh God, it's Spencer. I met him before, and that was really cool. He's a really down-to-earth dude.
He really is. I mean, it's just like talking to, like, your next door neighbor, really.
And he's suave as hell.
Yeah, so, yeah, they're really cool.
He is probably the sexiest man alive.
He is.
Oh, my gosh.
They're hot, too.
Yeah, Nadia.
Now, but...
I want to say I think they're engaged. I'm not 100%. I know they've been together forever.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
He always does. She always does a lot of their videos and stuff. Like, she's always in the videos. I don't know if you've seen the newest video for the Hip to Be Scared. It's
I did.
American. That was such a good song. Like, the song and the video.
Yeah, perfect.
I knew it was only a matter of time before they did that song, just because of how big a fan he is of that movie.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan too. I love American Psycho.
I watched it for the first time in probably a couple years. I watched it the other day. I'm like, man, this movie is great.
I have a cute little, like, nice little American Psycho collection. It's in my bedroom, so I didn't get to show it when I did my collection tour video, but yeah, I have a nice little American Psycho collection though. I love him.
I need to get the book and read it sometime.
My employee Steven, he lent me the book. I have the book.
Nice. Let you read it.
Yeah, and I haven't started to read it yet, but yeah, it's sitting on my nightstand.
Yeah, I definitely want to see, like, the differences, because I'm sure there's some differences, but, you know.
Yeah, he said there was. He said there's huge differences. So,
but I don't see it, like, I can see it being one of those things where the book and the movie are just as good as one or the other.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you always have that, the book's always better. And it's like, well, I don't know about that, but.
Well, sometimes they just go into more detail in the book, and they would have went into more detail about that certain scene, whatever, in the movie. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm still thinking about this whole who my favorite celebrity I met was. That might be a to be continued question.
Okay.
Ask me another.
Ask me a question.
Yeah, that's what I'm supposed to be doing, but here we are just getting sidetracked from the whole. This is.
I'm asking you questions.
Ask me questions, and we keep getting off on side tangents.
That's funny.
But there's nothing wrong with that, though.
No, of course not.
Initially, that's what I mean. Like, most of my interviews, initially turn into just conversations almost to begin with. So, let's see here. So what can we even cover? Because we've talked a lot about, you know, what's coming up for Nightmare Toys and stuff like that. Because obviously, like you said, you were talking about the Nightmare Cafe opening. I'm sure it'll probably be a little bit yet. I'm assuming.
A little bit. It hopefully about September or so if everything keeps going well. But definitely before October, before Halloween. So.
Well, that's cool. That's actually quite soon.
Yeah, we want to get it open and get it going.
For sure. Oh man. I should have wrote these down. Because I know I had a couple other things. I can't think of them now.
Well, we have signings coming up in the store. I'm going to start doing signings at least once every other month. So, like I just said, I have Damien Maffey and Cheney Morrow coming July 31st. And then September 18th, I've got Tony Todd.
Ooh.
He's going to be signing in the store. And hopefully at that point in time, the Candyman Funko Pops will be out too. So we'll have Candyman Funko Pops to be signed. So that'd be cool.
That'd be exciting.
And then we're working on getting Kane Hodder back. And then we're just trying to get things going for next year. But my plan is to have signings in the store once every other month.
That'd be exciting. Just something for have like little events for people to come out to, like a gathering.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and then we'll do some stuff, some little events and things too in the bar as well, and do stuff as well too. But and we'll have like trivia in the bar. We're gonna have a lot of TVs. So we'll have like trivia, like horror trivia playing, plus movies, plus some sports, just cause, you got to have a little sports going on. But yeah, so there'll be something on the TVs for everybody to watch. I have some other ideas. I don't want to give out everything yet, but I've got some other ideas for the bar, and it's going to be fun. I like to have fun. I want you to come in and have fun and have a good time. So
I feel like just like the concept of that kind of horror themed bar and grill, like it's not some place you're going to go into and not have a good time.
No, if you're not having a good time, please tell me and I will fix it. Because
if you're incapable of having fun, home.
But it'll be fun. Everything will be horror themed, of course. All food and all drinks will be horror themed. I like to have all my drinks served with, spider rings and eyeballs and fun stuff you can also take home with you. So there'll be a lot of things that you will possibly be able to take home with you for free too when you come in and have a drink or food. Souvenirs.
Everybody loves souvenirs.
Yeah. Why not? And kids come in a lot too. I love the kids. I love it when the children come in. It's so cute when you got little 3 and 4-year-olds coming in. They're like, oh, Michael Myers, Freddie Krueger. They know who these people are. It's so cute, and they're just so excited. And that makes all of this just worth it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Come in and be so excited. I mean, I love seeing adults come in too, and I've had tons of adults come in and just start crying and yeah. Oh, okay. It's okay.
Calm down.
I love that though. That's what keeps me going, and that's what makes me happy. I just want to make a place for the horror community to come and be able to find things that you want to purchase for your own self, collection wise or whatever, and come in and have fun. My employees are all horror fans. We are all different types of horror fans. So everybody talks different. We're not the same. We're not all cookie cutter or anything like that. We all like different things. That's why I hired everybody. So you can have different conversations with everybody. And everybody all my employees are they're welcoming and they love conversing with the customers and everything. So, and then my bathrooms, I always tell everybody to go see my bathrooms. My bathrooms are fun. I have autographs on the bathrooms walls, and people love to take photos there and selfies. So I always say, yeah, come to the bathroom. Go check it out.
That's great because I go.
Yeah, we'll have an expansion of the store too coming up. So that's going to be finished here shortly, actually. And that's just going to be all clothing and accessories, like 2,000 square feet of it. And so that means more room in the other part of the store for more toys, more masks, more Halloween stuff, more decorations, more everything else. So
So are there I know because you guys have your own line of merch, basically the Nightmare Toys shirts, and do you guys have more designs planned?
we do, yeah, we do. We so far we have what, six, 7, 8, what, like 8 or 9 different shirts. I know we have a lot of shirts, but we do plan on doing a whole other line of shirts as well. We're thinking about doing like maybe shirts with quotes on them, stuff like that. We also would like to start doing licensed shirts.
Oh yeah.
So excited about that.
You guys just have a lot going on, and that's really great, actually, because it's great. It's good to have a lot going on, because then that it's a lot of work going into it, but it's all going to be worth it once it's done, because you get you got the end product of, like, look at Nightmare Toys, for instance. When you guys moved, like, that was going to be one of my questions, but I'm like, why would I even ask that? Like, why did you move, like, initially from Huntsville to Las Vegas?
We grew out of it. We just grew too big.
Yeah.
It just wasn't fitting for us anymore. The store was just too small because our online was growing so much, and I was literally like doing orders. Like when the Good Guy dolls came in from Trick or Treat Studios, we're literally having 100 Good Guy dolls all over the store, trying to pack, trying to get the labels on them. I mean, it was just getting insane. And then plus, I mean, it's Vegas. So, just putting this type of a store in Vegas than Huntsville, Alabama, it's just a better. Yeah. And it ended up being, probably the best thing we could have done, was to. So, yeah, and it's been great.
So did you guys, so being in Huntsville, because I don't know much, I don't go to Alabama very much, but did you have a lot of local customers, or was a lot of your customers mostly out of towners?
It was it was local. I did have some people kind of drive, but I mean, that's when the first couple of years we were getting going, and still people just didn't know about us. So we really were busy as far as the in-store part of it. We were getting busy online, but the in-store just wasn't. It's definitely not like it is here in Vegas. Yeah. I've got people here driving from California, Arizona, Utah, Texas. I got people just driving all over the place just to come here. And people weren't necessarily doing that in Huntsville, because, I mean, what else are you going to do in Huntsville? There's nothing to do there. So, I think I did have people from France come. They had flown to where do they say it was funny. They were traveling in the southern states. I think they flown into like Georgia or Atlanta or something. And then they were traveling, like doing a road trip of all the southern states. And they knew that the store was in Huntsville, Alabama. And they were on their way to Nashville. So they stopped in Alabama because they were already following us online and had already ordered from us before. So they bought like so much stuff, and of course we sent it off for them, of course. But that was really cool, just to have some people from France come in to Alabama, and they literally we're just driving to Nashville, but we just wanted to stop here, and do in shop and then go to Nashville. Yeah. Like, oh wow, okay.
I am honored. Yeah, that was kind of the nice thing when we were coming up from Florida, because I mean, it was kind of off the interstate a little bit, but it wasn't enough to where it was like ridiculous amounts.
Right.
That's the thing. Like the Interstate 74,
72,
70, yeah, something like that.
70.
Yeah. Going up to Nashville and stuff like that, it's just it was one exit, go this way, and it was about 15-20 minutes off the interstate, so it wasn't too terrible to get back back to where we were.
Yeah, it's not. It wasn't bad at all because I used to go right down the road and the highway was right there. Yeah,
for sure.
it was we were in a good spot and everything. We're right in the middle of the little city there, but you know, it's Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean,
True that.
not everybody in Huntsville, Alabama is into horror and spooky shit. You know, I remember a lady coming in with her daughter, which was crazy because you know we had like churchy people there, and she was churchy, the mom, but the daughter was like all in black and goth, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, the way that the mom was, she had her rosary and she was blessing my store.
I'm like, Jesus.
And I'm like, ugh. And you can tell the daughter's like, Mom, stop, you know. And I'm just sitting there thinking, it's really weird that you would even let your daughter even be like this when you're so like this. But I'm glad she was letting her daughter express herself and bringing her daughter in the store to get some stuff that she wanted. But yeah, she was walking around my whole store and like blessing it and help these people and all this stuff. I was just like,
hate these people so. My Lord Jesus.
Yeah. That didn't happen very often, thank God. But yeah.
Like, get the fuck out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, kind of. Just like, you can bless it all you want, but it ain't gonna
on the outside.
Not gonna work.
Terrible.
Oh, that's fun.
People. It's fun to people watch, though.
Yeah, see, that's what I like doing at conventions.
Yeah, you just
like all y'all. I love meeting like all the Instagram and Facebook friends and stuff. But I like to just sit there. I just want to sit in a corner and just watch everybody.
yeah, it's funny because I see people do that too.
Oh, I love just people watching. I've always been that way.
It's fun to do that at fairs.
Yeah, that's good too.
That guy's gross. Oh,
the devil. Sometimes.
Yeah. Speaking of, the toys that I picked up while I was at the store, I still have. I don't think they're in camera view though. Let's see here. The Michael that I got is right up there. I got that at the store.
I see the Funko Pop and I see the MDS figure and the
MDS is the one I picked up. And then I don't think you can see the Nun Pop. I picked that up at the store as well. It's over here next. I got that signed by Bonnie Aarons.
Oh, I loved her. I hadn't met her yet.
Oh my gosh, she was a riot. I was totally fanboying too. Like when I met her, I'm like, oh my gosh.
I heard like, super nice.
Oh my gosh, she was great. She reminds me of a female Michael Rooker.
Oh, cool.
If you can imagine. She just really kind of not as bad because how Michael Rooker is. He's just very Michael Rooker-ish.
Yeah, I like him.
Oh yeah,
good actor.
I don't think you could not like Michael Rooker.
There's some out there that don't.
But I'm saying those people are wrong.
Those are the people that don't like Halloween 3.
Exactly. If you don't like Halloween 3, do me a favor. Go watch it again, and then we'll talk. I'm going to start a fan page for Nothing But Halloween 3. Oh, my gosh. What is that from?
It's from Horror Decor.
Okay.
I have pillows. I have a bunch of the VHS pillows that they have.
I was thinking it looked familiar. I wasn't sure what the company was, though.
These are so much fun, y'all. Go on Horror Decor and get you some VHS pillows. And then you can buy the labels separate. And they're Velcro, so you can change them out.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
I have to put them up there. I got to get another shelf. And then I have my Santa Mirror sign I got to put up there. I haven't done that yet.
Nice, Santa. I need to get all that. Because this one here's my prize.
Yeah.
I
got the... You don't have them out?
I do not. I don't know.
Look, I got mine out.
I don't know if I want to get these out because they're just.
You want to get them out.
I,
They want to play.
I, they're gonna have to stay in the box until I get another set. Because
You're in the box person.
I'm an in and out.
Okay, well, I am too. I'll do both.
I'm an in and out of box collector, so to speak. I mean, because I got some Funkos that I take out. I've got most of my figures, though, my good, like, NECA stuff, I usually keep in box just because I just can't bring myself to opening them.
Well, good thing with me, I have to open things because I do videos on them for YouTube. So then it's already open, and I'm like, oh, I'm taking this one home.
Well, see, that's the thing. You have access to.
Right, I know.
You have the access to plethora of different figures. So it ain't nothing for you to have an extra or two.
No, actually it is. When I don't think about putting some back, when I put things on order or pre-order and then they sell out like that, and then I don't get one or don't get to open. That happened with, I'm still waiting for my Puppet Master figures and my Quint figures from NECA. They're about to ship them, thank God. But I forgot to put one back for myself to open, and I'm already sold out. So that's true. I forget to do that, and then I don't get something.
Why?
Yeah. I'm like, shit. So I'm trying to put back, like, whenever I order stuff, we'll put back like maybe like 20 of something just for just in case purposes if some are damaged or whatever, And then of course my employees, everybody wants one too. Everything comes in, we all want some. So then we got to have some back. So
these are actually for the customers.
I know. I used to see my employees, it's like vultures whenever we get new stuff in. We're all like, ooh, new stuff. What is it?
Wait.
I want this. I want this.
I probably couldn't work there.
It's bad.
I would love to work there, but I probably couldn't work there. Somebody wants an autograph.
Oh. I have 8x10s that I can autograph on my website at nightmaretoys.com. If you just look up, just put in Kristy, search Kristy, and my t-shirts and my 8x10s will pop up, and then I'll sign them and get them sent off to you.
There you go. Question answered.
Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that.
Saying Kristy is always so beautiful, but nobody is commenting on how gorgeous I am.
I'm your hotness. Yeah, y'all.
Please.
That hat he's got on.
Look how gorgeous this hat is.
Look at that.
That is awesome. You know what? It really should glow in the dark.
Yeah, it should. I keep thinking. Can I ask you a question? So
Yes.
You have something behind you. Look behind, like a Funko Pop behind you. It's blue. What is that? What I think it is behind you? Next to the Freddie and Jason, there's a blue something.
This here?
Not that one, the one next to it. What?
This one?
No, back. Yes.
This?
Yeah, what is that?
That is Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Both of these are Yondu, actually.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah.
I was
one of them.
Who was the blue guy?
Who are these blue people?
Blue person behind you. I didn't know that.
Yeah, this one, this was like from the first one that was in the first Guardians, and this is the second one where he's got the fin on his head. Oh, you haven't seen him. It's okay.
I was asking. That's why I was confused. I was like, I don't remember that horror Funko Pop. What's the blue guy?
Yeah. Not all these are horror. There's actually I got some Deadpools and a couple Star Wars mixed.
Cool. And then is that Hellraiser? Is that Pinhead?
Yes. This one here. This one is the Hot Topic glow in the dark.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Let's see if I can. I don't know how do you see that? Oh yeah, I guess because you right here. My favorite.
One
and I never pulled chases, but like I was so excited when I pulled this one.
Yeah.
This they did Hot Topic back when they used to do like the mystery boxes.
Mm-hmm. I got that.
They did the horror theme one, and I went like the day that they released. Like I was there probably like a half hour before they opened, because I knew this was going to be in there. And I remember buying it, and I looked at them. I was looking at the box, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to grab one. Screw it. And I went and I walked out of the store, and they had like a little bench like right outside the store. So I sat there and I opened up the box, and I'm like, whew. And I lift up the box and I look, and it was sideways to where, like it was sideways, like laying like this.
Right.
Looked at it, and the first thing I saw was the blood on the mask, and I'm like, and I looked, I closed the box and I open it back up and I look again and I pull it out and I see the chase sticker, and I'm just like, oh my God. Like I went like Charlie from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, like running back to Hot Topic, like I pulled the chase. Oh, I was so excited.
I have that one. I don't have mine's not the chase though.
Yeah, the regular.
Remember, hold on.
Go find it.
No, it's not.
We'll be right back.
Regular. I just regular.
Oh, it's just the regular one. See, I need to get the regular one still, actually, because I only have this one.
So that one's bloody, right?
Yeah, it's just it's funny because it's very like you can barely even tell. It's just a little.
It's like on the cheeks and stuff.
It's just a little blood matter. That's all the difference is.
Yeah.
But it's still the chase.
Yeah, it's the chase.
It's funny because the Walmart in my town like sucks. Like really, like all the Walmarts everywhere else has the Funko sections and stuff like that. But then out of nowhere, like I walked into the electronics section one day and they had Funkos. I'm like, when did we start carrying these again? And then I found this randomly.
Yes.
I was like, holy crap. Like I'm not even that like, I'll be honest, I have not ever like watched this movie.
Okay.
Like,
I'll be honest with you, along with your honesty. I hadn't either. And when I got those in at the store, I brought them home too.
like,
I just went to the Funko Pops and I was like, I really haven't seen this movie. Because there's a set of them.
Oh, wow.
Does it show it on the back of that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had gotten all those in at the store. So yeah, I have all those, but yeah, I've never really watched that.
I have it. I just because I think I got it from Horror Pack. And
Horror, yeah.
I have it like after I bought the pop. I'm like, I need to watch this now because it, like, it's just one of those movies. Like I've had it on the sidelines forever, and I was like, I need to watch this, but I just never got around to it. But now that I have this, that's the thing about Walmart. Their Funko Pops are $8.78, like $9. I'm like, holy crap! I just bought this Chase Pop for $9.
Yeah, you're telling that to a small business owner. I hate Walmart.
Sorry.
There's a reason Walmart can do that though, because they can do that. They have that kind of money. I mean, so they can afford to put their Funko Pops that cheap. I know how much they cost. They probably are getting them at a cheaper cost than what I'm getting them at because they can order so much because they're Walmart.
True.
So, yeah, they can afford to do that. But for people like small businesses, I can't afford to put my Funko Pops $8.
That's understandable.
But we're not Walmart either. So
That's true.
But one day I will have a Nightmare Toys exclusive Funko Pop. That's what I want. That's what I'm achieving. I want a Nightmare Toys exclusive Funko Pop, and I want a Nightmare Toys exclusive NECA figure.
But what would it be, though?
I don't know, but
why would it would just be have to be you?
No, not me. No, we don't need me.
But hold on.
Not
you're the owner and curator of Nightmare Toys.
Yeah, we don't need it. We don't need a figure of me though. That would be bad.
We didn't say what it would look like.
No, just some horror character or something of my choosing that nobody ever does. That'd be cool. Leprechaun. We need a leprechaun Funko Pop and a leprechaun NECA figure. That.
We need some, like, I know that, like, you know, that we're getting a lot more horror pops and stuff coming out and figures,
yeah.
but there's still, like, you know, like how they keep bringing out like Halloween pops, for instance. Like, oh, cool, more Michael Myers pops. Uh-oh. Did I lose you?
Yeah, my battery. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to get off here momentarily because my battery's about to die on my phone and I don't have my charger near me.
Okay. Well, we've got to cover a lot of ground. I mean, I didn't ask a ton of questions, but, you know, you kind of answered questions without me asking them, honestly.
We had a great conversation.
I feel like I'm going to interview you, but I feel like this is going to turn into more of a conversation than anything. Which, I mean, you know.
That's good. So, I like that. I like talking.
I wouldn't shut up at your booth. I kept coming back.
That's fine. I don't mind at all.
This alone already?
We had fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was definitely good. So, with your phone dying, I don't want you to die and then not be able to say goodbye. So,
yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for letting me, you know, chat with you for a while. I know it's I don't even know what time it is at this point.
3:00 here in Vegas.
So it's about 6 here. So, well, it's been great chatting with you, catching up.
Yeah, it's been great talking to you too, and seeing everybody come in and join in.
Yep, it's been great hearing about what's coming up with Nightmare Toys and Nightmare Cafe, of course.
Yeah, we've got a lot coming up. So just follow us on all social media, Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. You can find Nightmare Toys and all that. NightmareToys.com. Soon we're going to do a podcast as well.
Awesome.
That's fun. Yeah, it'll be a live podcast. It'll be me and my employees. And then if you want to follow me on social media, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and OnlyFans.
At Nightmare Kristy.
Yes, all at Nightmare Kristy.
Well, you take care and hopefully have a good rest of your day, and good luck with everything and with the future of Nightmare Toys.
Thank you very much. You too. I will talk to you later.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Well, everybody, I thank Kristy for joining in for a while. We talked about a lot of stuff. I didn't ask a whole lot of questions, but like I said, she answered more questions than I really asked. So there's that. Moving on because I've got a little bit more stuff going on than just the interview today. I wanted to show off some of the stuff I got over on the convention this past weekend. So I was talking about Bill Moseley earlier. I got Bill Moseley to sign this, if you can see it right here. This is also signed by Sherry Moon, Rob Zombie himself, and Sid Haig. I got this at a Rob Zombie show at Mayhem Festival in 2015, maybe. So that was really cool. I figured I'd finally get that signed. Then I also I got Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 signed. So I got the chop top there. That's really cool. This one apparently is super rare because this thing, it's got the slip cover. So this thing goes for some good money. And also, I'm going to speed through this because I don't want to keep you guys too long. I got my Prince of Darkness signed by Alice Cooper that I showed Kristy earlier. So that was really cool. That was definitely worth it. Like, he was very cool. I asked him about, working with I asked him about working with Vincent Price, and it was cool to hear that, you know, he had, you know, did a tour with Alice Cooper. Like, who would have thought Vincent Price with, you know, on tour with Alice Cooper? That was really cool. And these next two items, I got some movies from some independent sellers. I got Spine Chiller, which is it's kind of an independent Halloween. It's about a Halloween dance. And of course, there's some sinister stuff going on with it. This is distributed by, Scream Team Releasing. I couldn't think of the word. Scream Team Releasing releases all sorts of great independent films, like The Barn, I'm sure people have seen, from Justin Seaman. Another one recently just joined Shudder was Straight Edge Kegger by Jason Zink. They put out another new one is 13 Days Till Christmas or something like that. It's an anthology. But yeah, they find more of their stuff at ScreamTeamReleasing.com because they have some great stuff. And this next one is actually, I didn't even realize, this was like my last pickup before I left the convention. I didn't even realize they were there until I finally saw it. But this film called The Embalmers, and it stars Rob Mello from the Happy Death Day films. And this is an independent film from writer and director Rebecca Reinhardt, which surprisingly lives in Indianapolis, or in the Indianapolis area. She's an actress, independent actress, and this, I don't know if this is her film debut, but I knew I'd seen the Indiegogo campaign for this, and I was like, they had the teaser trailer, and it looked really good. I'm not 100% sure what this is about, but I'm definitely excited to check it out. I think my last item here, I got, I don't know if you've all seen the film Candy Corn, or a film called The Greasy Strangler, but I got a Sky Elabar, who plays Gus in Candy Corn. I got him to sign my Candy Corn poster. It's kind of hard to see, I guess. But yeah, that's probably one of my favorite posters, actually. So that is all of my Days of the Dead stuff. I think I'm about done here, guys. I think I want to talk about Fright Rags for a second, because they've got some great stuff coming out. And tomorrow, actually, so stay tuned to Fright-Rags tomorrow, because they have a Jaws collection coming out. Across the whole franchise, actually. They have a Jaws 3D shirt, a Jaws 2 shirt, a Jaws The Revenge shirt coming out. And there's also a Jaws pair of board shorts to go swimming or boarding or what have you, but perfect for summer. I know I'm going to be picking up a pair. So you can find all that stuff at frightrags.com, fright-rags.com. And sorry guys, it's been a long day. So fright-rags.com, and use my promo code RReport10, and you'll get a 10% discount. So definitely use that and get a nice little discount on all your purchases. But with that, I think I'm going to log out of here because I need some sleep, and I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing from me. So thank you guys for joining. If you've stuck around, thanks for joining in to watch me talk to Kristy, and so on and so forth. Hopefully I see you guys in the next video. Hopefully real soon. I've got some stuff in the works, so hopefully I get that stuff done. And I'm sure I'll let you guys know as soon as I can. Again, I think my next interview might be Cheney Morrow from Haunt and Wrong Turn, so be on the lookout for that. And I'll check you guys on the next video.